Have you ever noticed that when you travel to another country, your electronic devices like cell phones or Wi-Fi routers might not work the same way as they do at home? That's because different countries use different frequencies for their communication networks. But why is that? Imagine you're at a party where everyone is talking at the same time. It would be hard to understand what anyone is saying because of all the noise, right? Well, electronic devices like radios, cell phones, and Wi-Fi routers talk to each other using electromagnetic waves, which we measure in terms of frequency. Now, if every country used the same frequency for all their devices, it would be like everyone at the party speaking the same language at once, chaos. This is where frequency allocation comes in. Just like how different countries have their own languages, they also have their own allocated frequencies for various communication purposes. Let's break it down. Radio and TV broadcasting. Different countries use different frequencies for radio and TV broadcasting. For example, in the United States, FM radio stations broadcast around 88 to 108 megahertz, while in Europe, they use a slightly different range. This way, neighboring countries can have their own stations without interfering with each other's signals. Wi-Fi networks. Wi-Fi routers also operate on specific frequencies. In most countries, Wi-Fi operates on either the 2.4 GHz or 5 GHz frequency bands. However, some countries might have additional regulations or restrictions on which frequencies can be used for Wi-Fi, depending on factors like available spectrum and interference from other devices. Cellular networks. Similarly, cellular networks use different frequency bands for communication. For example, in the United States, major carriers like Verizon and AT&T primarily use bands in the 700 MHz, 850 MHz, 1900 MHz, and 2100 MHz ranges for 4G LTE services. Meanwhile, in Europe, different bands might be utilized for similar services. Regulatory bodies. The allocation of frequencies is regulated by international organizations like the International Telecommunication Union, ITU, and national regulatory authorities. These organizations assign specific frequency bands for different uses, ensuring that there's enough space for all devices to operate without interfering with each other. So, in essence, different countries use different frequencies to manage their communication networks efficiently, much like how diverse languages help people communicate effectively in different parts of the world. By allocating specific frequencies for various devices and services, countries ensure that their electronic systems can operate smoothly without causing interference or disruptions in neighboring regions. Next time you're traveling and your devices behave differently, remember that it's all because of the fascinating world of frequency allocation.